Hey there, Guardians, Ghosts, and Gamers. Welcome back. For some reason, I ended up spawned all the way down there, even though I died up here. I love Ghosts and the way they spawn you all over the fucking place, wherever they fucking feel like it. No wonder Failsafe says it'd be good to give little guys some spine. I want to express today that I feel really bad for the FOMO crowd because right now, as it stands in the season, I have all the weapons that I care to have. No, they're not raid weapons. No, they're not trials weapons. I don't give a fuck about all those weapons. Obviously, I'm doing well enough for the activities I'm playing in with the guns I have, and that's all there is to it. You know, I'm at a point in the game where I'm comfortable. It's fun. I'm having fun. I do my thing. But unfortunately, given the state of the day, the rest of my play team is more or less busy, with IRL. Oh god, another Aeon Swift. Fuck you. Well, it's shards. Oh no, wait, it's 1305. Let's not be too hasty. Maybe I'll go ahead and pick up an improvement module and infuse that. Okay, that's kind of nice. All right, well that's good, I guess. Yeah, the only thing that's worth pursuing for me right now is power levels, but I mean that's just to have a goal, other than just getting in and fucking around. Um, yeah, these sweat lords that I've been playing with today, yeah, that's just like, oh, he's a cross save. That figures. Oh, he is too. Well, I don't know what is with cross save people. They have to like get it all. I don't understand that. I don't. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's an ad. I mean, I used to be like that. I used to be like, hey, let's get all the trophies. Let's get all the triumphs. Let's do all the things um, that the game has for us to do. And then I started realizing that a lot of the time that I was doing those things, I wasn't really enjoying myself. Um, and I was getting more and more frustrated as the randomness of the loot tables was becoming less and less enticing. When I play Dungeons and Dragons or other tabletop RPGs, you have you have fixed goals. You have fixed rewards. You know what you're going for. You know what you're going to get. And depending on how well you perform, determines whether or not you get the full reward or portion thereof. So in other words, maximum reward would be say something like 300 experience points. Okay. If you let more than half the hostages die, you only got 100 experience points. If you failed to defuse the bomb and half the hostages died, you got 10 experience points. You know what I'm saying? So it was geometrically worse the worse you played. Um, but you still, you knew what you were getting. And then, of course, there was, most DMs, most game masters didn't really play with a random loot table. Your character was going to get a certain particular loot. You were going for a particular loot. Like, say, for instance, let's take the hostage situation again. Okay, there's a building that's been, rigged to blow. There's, X amount of hostages in it. You got to rescue the hostages and defuse the bomb. Um, and that's perfectly cool. That's a pretty basic hero scenario. But let's say that you know that when you complete this, you are going to go ahead and also get, like, say, a cape of +3 flying. I'm using heroes and superheroes unlimited. I can't remember the name of the game was, but it was a superhero game. So with a cape of +3 flying, you could fly the bomb away, and that would save everybody. So, but that's not the thing. You won't get that thing until after you do the hard part, do it the hard way. And I'm totally cool with that. I'm okay with playing an activity to get loot that makes that activity a little bit easier to play or unlocks some more difficult levels. Because that's kind of the way, those are the kinds of games that I played when I was on PlayStation 2. I played games that provided you with fixed loot, or you could choose your loot at the end. That was the other thing too. You could choose your loot. And I said, like, okay, well, the party has defeated the Goblin Cave. Now you get the opportunity to go ahead and divvy up the treasure. There's 300 gold pieces, which is a lot, believe it or not. There's an armor class 5 plate mail or whatever. I'm just throwing stuff out there. And there's a couple of swords, and there's like a potion or two. And then the party members decide, who's going to get what loot. Now, obviously, in Destiny, you can't really do that, but it would be nice that if at the end of the activity, and on the after carnage screen, you have, 3 or 4, you have 2 to 5 pieces of loot that you can choose from, depending on how well you performed in the game. And that doesn't necessarily mean how many kills you got more than the other players got. Like, just an overall, rating, of your performance. But in count assists the same as kills. Whether you put one bullet on there or full clip. If you didn't get the final blow, but you contributed, you got credit. I mean, it used to be once upon a time there were bounties like that, in the game where you got credit for the kill, whether you got the final blow or not. But getting final blows in this game seems to be the thing, and it just creates this hyper tense, competitive experience that I've never associated with PvE in any game, and especially in Destiny. PvE was supposed to be your fallback, relax. It's low impact. It's totally casual. Everybody's having a fun time. But defeat enemies with precision damage. Obviously, you got to get the final blow for that one. Defeat multiple enemies at a time with your super. Now, here's the cool thing. Now, they have done some changes with the Vanguard bounties. This does not require you to be in a strike. I could do this in and out of strikes. I could do this on patrol. I could do this on patrol or in lost sectors. Defeat mini bosses and bosses in any strike. That is a team-based bounty. Defeat enemies in strikes with any grenade launcher, and that might actually be a team-based bounty as well. Um, let's see. Let's go over to Shaxalax and see what his bounties are, even though I can't play any of them still. And private matches don't count, so that's always fun. Otherwise, they'd be boosting. People would be in trouble. You got to defeat opponents. That is a final blow. That you got to have the final blow on that one. Defeat opponents using energy weapons. That's also a final blow. I don't think that's a team kill. Using your super, final blow, of course. And then complete matches in the Clash playlist. That's easy. That's just like that's what I call a passive. You're gonna do it if you just pick the playlist. So yeah, there's I don't know. I just really want to say to all those guys out there, all those girls out there uh, who are playing this game for the completionist goals. You know, I hope it means something at the end. I hope it, and in 10 years' time, you can look back at your progress and be proud of that and feel complete from that. Because honestly, I bring up Wrath of Heaven all the time. It was one of my most favorite PlayStation 2 games. And yeah, it's been 10 years' time, at least more than that. And I can look back and I can appreciate those stealth kills. I can appreciate those hard mode, levels. Uh, and I am proud of that. But all the other games that I played back then, where I needed to get the full trophy rack for, and it's like, wow, man, I think of all the things I could have done other than that. I think of all the paintings I could have made, or all the sculptures I could have created, or the books I could have read. And I mean, I like playing Destiny. Don't get me wrong, but I like the arcade drop-in feel of Destiny. I like doing an activity that takes less than 10 to 15 minutes to do, and know that I can break off and not feel like I'm, shortchanging my experience. And as a result, I'm also not really going to be so excited about paying for the next season, next year's. I don't really know at this point, especially since Bungie has gotten so anal about the internet connection quality. I mean, I'm playing with people who are locking and popping all over the screen, and I know these guys are still playing. Nobody's restricting their asses. I've been in Gambit and Crucible matches where I've seen like obvious cheating going on, and these guys are always still there. Yet I go through 3 matches and end up, being able to fucking snipe a fool who's invading on the Gambit match because I know where the spawns are. It's not difficult. You hear the klaxon, you split up. 2 guys for each spawn. One's a spotter, one's the sniper. I mean, come on, dude. It's basic tack. And you take those 3 seconds to catch the invader before he has a chance to do anything. That's only 3 seconds you're spending as opposed to the 15 to 30 motes you get wasted because he blows your head off. Yeah. So, okay. So I take Gambit a little bit more seriously, but only because it's not a hard mode to do, and there's no excuse not to put your all into Gambit. When I play Gambit, I do. I put my all into Gambit. Sure, I fart off and I goof around sometimes. It depends on who I'm playing with. I mean, if the team I'm on is like super sweaty and they're OP and they're desperate for motes and they're desperate for kills, I'll play a support role and I'll back off and I'll wait for the invader like I did and pop his full head off, and that's it. Personally, I think I'd rather get the hate mail than get the spammy ass reports, because that's the only reason why I got my restriction. There's enough people. I got reported enough times, and yeah, I mean, if you take the game that seriously, you're going to get all bent out of shape just because somebody anticipated your move and outplayed you. I feel sorry for the people you live with. But anyway, that's all I got to do. Hate to make this kind of a shaming video, but just a reminder out there as we get close to the end of this season, guys, lighten up. It's a game. I'm sorry you feel like you paid a lot for this, but it doesn't entitle you to anything. Okay? It gives you a non-exclusive, limited-use license to use their service. This is not a product. You did not purchase a copyrighted piece of art that you can then go ahead and resell for something else later on. You can't even resell Destiny, believe it or not. I don't think you can. I don't think I could. If I took this to GameStop, I think the most I get is 50 cents for it. I can't resell it because it's a license. It's bound to me, my PlayStation account. I'd have to sell you my PlayStation account in order for you to get my copy of Destiny, and that's not a cool thing, dude. First of all, I wouldn't do that. Second of all, it's just uncool. It goes against the terms of service. So all you guys out there who are basically boosting accounts to flip, yeah, that's something else that Bungie's very been vocal about and is actually cracking down on. So that's kind of the reason why we have the mechanics for leveling in this game as we do right now. But in the off chance that Bungie happens to see this post, this little drop, um, guys, maybe during strikes, at least try it out with strikes, okay? Include a little loot table at the end of the strike, and I mean, I would be okay with the extra, 30 seconds to pick my loot. I mean, I'm playing the strike for obvious reasons. I'm going for the types of guns that it has or the armor it has, or I'm going for the pinnacle weapon or the pinnacle armor. I'm trying to get the power levels. So maybe put that in the loot table. You have a choice. You can buy this you can get this precision shot, hip fire, opening shot, precision frame shotgun, or you can get a piece of material that raises the power level of one of your items by 1 or 2 levels, depending on how difficult the strike was or how efficient you guys were in the strike. And make things more team count. You don't want people carrying each. You don't really want. You don't want somebody slacking off and being a sandbag while you run around. But then again, if you're a sweat lord and you don't need the other two players, then don't shame them for not getting any shots in because you're taking everything. I mean, that's like, yelling at the fat guy who charges the buffet and gets all the fresh, cornbread, and I mean, he wanted it, so he went and got it, and it's there. He wasn't doing anything illegal. He didn't break in the front of the line or anything like that. He got his ass to the front of the line. He got in line first. You're the ones who took your casual time chit-chatting and flirting with the hostess. I'm not by being specific, maybe, because I've seen it happen. I did work in restaurants. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for stopping by. If you guys find this interesting or anything like that, leave a comment, leave a like. If you don't find it interesting, leave a comment, leave a like, or dislike, whatever. Interact with this shit. Speak up. Do you feel that you're a completionist or not? Are you a filthy casual, self-confessed and proud? Welcome. I'll catch you all later.